Summer and romance just go hand in hand. Between beach trips, summer festivals, and unforgettable sunsets, there's no better season for romance and slice of life anime. What's up, everybody? Today we're checking out all the romance and slice of life anime coming in summer 2026. From returning favorites to brand new series that could end up stealing the season, let's dive right into it. Let's kick things off with Sonokimi Season 2. If you've enjoyed watching Mizuki and Izumi's relationship grow in the first season, you'll be happy to know that they're back this summer. Between the heartfelt moments, comedy, and all the chaos that comes from Mizuki trying to keep her secret under wraps, the first season was a lot of fun. I'm excited to spend more time with these characters and to see where the journey takes them this season. Next up is one I'm seriously excited for, The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You, Season 3. Rinchiro is back, and at this point, the series has fully embraced its wonderful, unhinged premise between the non-stop comedy, over-the-top romance, and a cast that somehow only gotten bigger, even more lovable. Every season has been an absolute blast. I can't wait to see what ridiculous situations Rinchiro and his girls find themselves in this time. I honestly never thought we'd see a second season of Trapped in a Dating Sim. The world of Otome games is tough for mobs, but here we are. Leon is back, bringing his signature sarcasm, overpowered strategies, and the hilarious way he turns an Otome game completely on its head. Even though it's an isekai first, the romance and comedy were a big part of what made the first season so much fun. It's been a long wait, so I'm excited to see Leon back in action this summer. Lastly, but not least, you and I are polar opposites. Season 2 is finally here, and I honestly can't get enough of this series. Suzuki and Tani quickly became one of my favorite romance pairing thanks to their awkward but incredibly genuine chemistry. It's the kind of romance that feels refreshing, relatable, and easy to get invested in. I'm so happy this one is back, and I can't wait to spend more time with these characters this summer. First up is The Duke's Son Claims He Won't Love Me Yet Showers Me in Adoration. And I have to admit, the title alone had me doing a double take. This story follows Elsa, the daughter of a fallen noble family, who subtly receives a marriage proposal from the elite aristocrat Julius. Naturally, she's left wondering why someone of his status would even choose her. But after they're married, things take an unexpected turn as Julius insists he won't fall in love with her, while constantly showering her with affections. If you're a fan of romance where one character's actions completely contradict their word, this looks like it could deliver plenty of sweet and awkward moments. I'm definitely curious to see how Elsa handles all of Julius's mixed signals. Next up is Though I Am an Inept Villainess, and this one immediately caught my attention because it puts a fresh spin on the villainous genre. The story follows Reiren, the graceful favorite to become the next empress, whose biggest obstacle is her frail health. On the complete opposite end is Kigetsu, a fellow consort in training who's looked down on by everyone around her. But after an unexpected incident causes the two to switch bodies, Reiren suddenly has to navigate life from the perspective of someone everyone despises. If you've been enjoying the recent wave of villainous anime, this looks like one of those worth keeping an eye on. Between the palace intrigue, the body swap twist, and the watching Reiren try to overcome the impossible odds, I'm really invested to see how this one plays out. Next up is Hanaori-san Still Wants to Fight in the Next Life. And this one feels like it's taking the classic hero versus demon king story in a completely different direction. The story follows Narukami, a former demon king who's been reincarnated into modern day Japan and just wants to enjoy a quiet life as a lazy gamer. The only problem, the hero who defeated him, his past life, has also been reincarnated, and she is now a cute high school girl named Hanaori, who still seems to be determined to settle the score. It seems like a fun mix of romance, comedy, and supernatural shenanigans, with plenty of playful back and forth between two characters who were once sworn enemies. If you're into rom-com with unusual setups, this is definitely one to keep an eye on. Next up is The Saint Can't Contain Her Power. And if you're a fan of fantasy romance with an underestimated heroine, this one might be worth checking out. The story follows Lady Carolina, who has spent her entire life believing she's the least remarkable member of her prestigious family, while her father is a renowned statesman and her sister is destined to become the kingdom's next saint. Carolina has always lived in their shadows, but everything changes when she's suddenly arranged to marry the feared, bloodthirsty prince of the neighboring empire of Malkostis. As Carolina adjusts to her new life, she begins to uncover strengths she never knew she had. all while navigating royal politics, growing feelings, and the mystery surrounding her own hidden powers. I'm definitely interested to see how this romance develops, especially with the classic fearsome prince with a soft side. Next up is Kaiju Girl Caramelize, and this might be one of the most unique romance coming out this season. This story follows Akaeshi, a quiet high school girl who's perfectly happy keeping to herself. But after meeting the popular and kind Minami, she starts developing feelings for him. And that's a bit of a problem. You see, whenever Akaeshi's emotions start running wild, so do her kaiju powers. It sounds like a really fun blend of romance, comedy, and a little bit of a monster mayhem, as Akaeshi tries to navigate her first crush accidentally turning into Godzilla. If you're looking for a rom-com with a completely different twist, this is definitely one to keep an eye on. Next up is Rich Girl Caretaker. I'm secretly the caretaker of the most popular girl in the rich kid school, and despite the ridiculously long name, this one actually has a pretty fun premise. The story follows Itsuki, an ordinary high school student who unexpectedly ends up becoming the caretaker of Hinako, the most admired girl at an elite academy. To everyone else, Hinako is the picture of perfect young lady, but behind closed doors, she's completely hopeless when it comes to taking care of herself. As Itsuki helps keep her secret, the two begin spending more and more time together, and Hinako slowly starts falling for him. It looks like a sweet rom-com built on the classic Gatmore trope, where someone's true personality is completely different from the image they present to everyone else. If you're a fan of romance, is where the characters gradually grow closer through everyday moments, this is definitely one you might want to put on your watch list. Next up is Goodbye Lara, and this one feels like it's shaping up to be one of the more emotional romances this season. The story follows Lara, a mermaid princess who gave up everything for love, only for her story to end in heartbreak. Between 200 years later, she awakens once again with another chance to find true love that once slipped through her fingers. Inspired by the classic tale of the Little Mermaid, the series looks like it's blending fantasy, romance, and a touch of melancholy into something that feels both familiar and fresh. If you're looking for a slow, emotional love story this summer, Goodbye Lara is definitely one I'll be keeping an eye on. Next up is Red River, and if you're looking for a romance with a little bit more adventure, this one's definitely standing out. The story follows Yuri, an ordinary girl whose life takes a dramatic turn after she's mysteriously pulled through water and transported to the ancient Middle East. Instead of celebrating her recent college acceptance and new relationship, Yuri suddenly finds herself caught in a dangerous world of palace intrigue, political conflict, and even facing the threat of being sacrificed. While the fantasy adventures is what grabs your attention first, it's the romance woven into Yuri's journey that has me the most interested. If you're a fan of historical fantasy with higher stakes than your typical rom-com, Red River looks like it could be one of the most unique romance animes of summer of 2026. Up next is Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, and this might be one of the most grounded romance anime coming out this season. The story follows Sasaki, a middle-aged office worker who's barely making it through his exhausting job. The bright spot in his day is chatting with Yamada, the cheerful cashier at his local supermarket. But after one particularly rough day, he ends up sharing a smoke behind the store with the mysterious and playful Tayama. And what starts as a chance encounter slowly turns into an unexpected connection. I really like that the series is taking a more mature approach to romance instead of focusing on high school life. It looks like it's about two adults finding comfort in the small moments and conversations that brighten an otherwise ordinary day. If you're looking for something a little bit more relaxed and character-driven this summer, this is definitely one you might want to watch out for. The Forsaken Saintess and her foodie road trip in another world is up next, and this sounds like the perfect series to kick back and relax with. The story follows Rin, a caregiver in her 30s who summons to another world as a saint, only to be cast aside almost immediately. Luckily for Rin, she's blessed with unique survival skill, which ends up being far more useful than anyone expected. Instead of dwelling on being abandoned, she set off on a journey across the new world, meeting new companions and discovering all kinds of delicious food along the way. I always enjoy fantasy series that slow things down and let the characters enjoy the journey. And this one looks like it'll blend adventure, cozy slice of life moments, and plenty of mouth-watering meals. If you're a fan of relaxing isekai with a dash of romance, this is definitely one you might want to watch out for. Next up is Oh Boy, Was I Wrong About Her? And if you're a fan of a childhood friends reconnecting, this one looks right up your alley. The story follows Hayato, who reunites with his childhood friend Haruki after years apart. At first glance, Haruki seems to be completely changed into a graceful and refined woman, but once they're together, she completely drops that perfect image and slips right back into the same goofy, carefree personality Hayato remembers from childhood. I always enjoy romances where characters already have a shared history, makes their interactions feel natural from the very beginning. But between the nostalgia, the comedy, and watching these two reconnect after so many years, this feels like it could be a really charming addition to the summer 2026 lineup. Love Unseen Beneath the Clear Night Sky is next, and this one already feels like it's aiming straight for the heart. The story follows university student Kakeru, who has a chance encounter with the cheerful and outgoing Kaharu. Even though Kaharu is blind, she approaches life with an optimism that completely infatuous, dreaming of one day launching fireworks despite never being able to see them herself. The more time Kakeru spends with her, the more she begins to change the way he looks at both life and his own future. This feels like it's going to be a heartfelt romance that's just as much about personal growth as it is about falling in love. If you're a fan of emotional love stories that focus on connection between characters, Love Unseen Beneath the Clear Night Sky is definitely one I'll be watching this summer. Next up is Please Excuse My Younger Brothers, and this one looks like it's blending family comedy with a sweet romance. The story follows Ito, whose life is turned upside down after her mother remarries, leaving her to adjust to living with 4 younger stepbros. While determined to make the best of this situation, it's her quiet and reserved older stepbrother again who proves the hardest to get close with. But as the two spend more time together, Ito starts discovering there's a lot more to him than his cold first impressions. I'm always a fan of romances that take the time to build a relationship instead of rushing into it, and this one seems like it'll balance those heartfelt moments with plenty of family comedy along the way. If you're looking for a slower, character-driven romance this summer, this is definitely one that I'll be keeping an eye out. Next up is Saved by the Ice Cold Prince, Embrace. And if you're a fan of fairy tale romances, this one should definitely be on your radar. The story follows Katrina, the neglected, illegitimate daughter of the count who's spent her entire life being treated as less than her own family. After her stepsister gets in trouble with the royal family, Katrina is sent in her place to live under the watch of the infamous Ice Cold Prince, a man rumored to be cruel as the harsh northern winter. But once she arrives, Katrina quickly realizes that much more to the prince than the stories would have to believe. I always enjoy romances where the characters slowly break down each other's walls, and this one looks like it'll deliver plenty of heartfelt moments as Katrina finally finds the kindness she's been missing her entire life. If you love fantasy romances with gentle ice princes and underdog heroines, just keep it at a glance. Last but definitely not least, The Ogre's Bride. And if you're a fan of supernatural romance, this one looks like it'll be right up your alley. The story follows Yuzu, a young woman who spent her life living in the shadow of her sister, who was chosen as the bride of a powerful fox spirit. Consistently overlooked and mistreated by her own family, Yuzu never expected her life to change until she encounters a mysterious and incredibly powerful ogre, Ayakashi, who declares that she's the bride he's been searching for all along. I really like the Japanese folklore twist the series brings to the romance genre between the Ayakashi setting, the Cinderella-inspired story, and watching Yuzu finally find someone who truly treasures her. The Ogre Bride feels like it has the potential to be a really heartfelt anime romance this season. And that's everything coming to romance and slice of life lineup for 2026. From long-awaited sequels to brand new series making their debuts, there's definitely plenty to look forward to this season. Now I want to hear from you. Which animes are you planning to watch this summer? Is there a series you're counting down the days for, or did I mention one that wasn't on your radar before? Let me know down in the comments. If you found this roundup helpful, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more seasonal anime coverage, and ring that bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, stay roasted, and don't let your watch list burn you out.